Healthtalkonline is a charitable website that allows people with a wide range of conditions to see, hear and read the experiences of others in similar situations to themselves. The latest addition to the site, launched this week, is a section on cancer of the penis. It's a rare condition and one that people rarely think about, as actor John Edwards discovered.
In 1997, I went to the doctor with a lump in my groin, and I went to see a consultant surgeon who did a biopsy, and they then said it was cancerous. And I said, well, what sort of cancer is it? And they said, well, we don't know, but we think it's probably secondary cancer. So then it took several months to actually get to the point of being diagnosed with penile cancer.
Penile cancer is almost what I would say is the forgotten male cancer.
Mr. Sux Minas, consultant urologist at University College Hospital, has a special interest in the condition.
There are about 400 cases per year in the United Kingdom, although in some parts of the world it's actually the most common male cancer. We don't really know very much about it, and it's only in the last 10 years or so that we begin to learn a little bit more about the disease. We do know that men who've been uncircumcised, men who have a history of viral warts or genital warts, and smokers seem to be more prone to having the disease. But again, this is all based upon very much old data. It must be more prevalent than what we actually think it is.
I had this massive explosion in my groin, which was secondary cancer, but my penis, which was the primary source and the danger, was of slight discoloration on the gland. And you couldn't see it until I'd had part of my foreskin removed. I always remember, like, it was a fact of my life that I couldn't pull back my foreskin completely. And I just thought, that was just a characteristic that I live with. So it was difficult to be completely clean, and I didn't realise what an area of danger it was for me.
Normally it's something that they see from a small spectrum of very small dots to something that is quite large. So in other words, a nasty looking tumour, and can present with lymph node enlargement as well, which is the way that this cancer spreads. And one of the other ways it presents is that of men who have something called a phimosis, or scarring on the foreskin. They can't retract it back, they can't see, and through no fault of their own, they don't realise they have something there which needs obvious urgent attention.
Penile cancer is still a difficult one for people, even nurses and doctors, I find. Often I've said, well, what are we going to call it today? People refer to it, your member, your private part, your this, that and the other. And most men, if you tell them about being treated for penile cancer, immediately grab their penises to protect it. I mean, that's why I still think that cancer, especially penile cancer, is still a taboo, because if you hear what people present with, apparently people actually, their first experience of treatment for penile cancer is when they turn up at accident emergency, which must mean an extreme set of symptoms.
My name is Peter Branney, a senior lecturer in social psychology at Leeds Metropolitan University. For a lot of people, penile cancer is a very sensitive area of the body, and the impact on their sexual and urinary function is also something very personal. And some people wouldn't really talk to others about this, and they might tell their friends and family, immediate friends and their immediate family, and say, I don't want this to go further. And we're really lucky that we can learn from these people. There's one chap who actually used two parties, one with family and one with colleagues, to actually talk about his condition and to tell them all about what was happening with him, so that they would be aware of, that he would be having treatment and how he'd be dealing with that afterwards.
We used to amputate some of the penis, or occasionally half the penis. We now, both here and at St George's, have probably, I would say, revolutionised the management to a degree by performing conservative surgery. So we now know that we can remove small areas of the penis, just like they do in breast cancer now, and reconstruct the penis. And we've recently published some results in literature, medical literature, reporting long-term follow-up. So it does seem to be safe to do conservative surgery, even with a few millimetres of tumour clearance. But the problem is we need longer-term results in order to differentiate whether or not what we're doing actually is improving quality of life. But clearly, from the cosmetic point of view, we can achieve good results.
I did find the actual prospect of it quite scary. What happens is the tumour is removed, and then I had a skin graft, and I was warned that the skin graft might not take, and you go through the operation and you wake up, and rather than slight showtime, now we're going to have a look, you have to wait a week before you even see it, because it's all wrapped up. You don't know exactly what's gone on until a week later, when the first time the dressing came off. And when that happened, it was like seeing a piece of sculpture being made, or when you see a pot made, it's not finished off yet. And I could see this shape. But there was all this stuff all over it, like stitches and bits falling off and cavities and everything. But I could see this shape of like a new penis. And I thought it was really wonderful. But then I still didn't know whether it was going to, in the long term, whether it was going to be all right. But slowly but surely, it is. So my consultant said, before the operation, I sort of jokingly said, you're going to give me a new penis? And he said, yes, well, I think we can.
John Edwards. The new penile cancer section of the Health Talk Online website is on the Inside Health page of bbc.co.uk/Radio 4. This is the